Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. That's the name of the movie. Don't blur it out. So, where the hell have I been these last couple of weeks? Yes, I've been away. I've done zero activity on my channel, barely responded to anyone. No uploads, no nothing really. And there's a very good reason for that. Well, a couple of good reasons, as a matter of fact. I've been away. I've been traveling. I've been abroad. I have gone to Toronto Fan Expo. And yes, I know it's pronounced Toronto. I get that. Get off my back. But yeah, Toronto Fan Expo 2024. The last couple of weeks of August. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, which I will eventually get to in a video as soon as I'm back on my feet. But yeah, no rest for the wicked. As soon as I landed, this thing happened. So yeah, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. That is the name of the movie, the sequel to the original Beetlejuice from the 1980s. I think it's 1985 where the original one came out. I can't remember. But yeah, oh, by the way, I had my phone stolen when I was traveling abroad. That's why I'm using a new one. So I'm having a bit of a trouble working this new one. Good story for another day, by the way. But this is what I came here to do. To watch the new Beetlejuice movie and review it. Because that is still what this channel is doing. And yes, this channel is still active. So long as I say it is. I am not the biggest fan of the original Beetlejuice movie from the 1980s. As you can tell, I couldn't tell you when that movie came out originally. But having said that, I get the appeal. I understand why so many people love this movie, and why so many people wanted to see a sequel to this movie. Why some people wanted this to become a franchise on its own. I get it. I understand people's love for it. There are elements about the original Beetlejuice movie I love, just not the biggest fan of the whole finished product as a whole. So this is going to be an interesting experience, me watching this movie in theaters. I think this is the week it came out. If not, it only came out about a week ago. Either way, I just really hope I have fun, you know? That's all what we're really here for in the movies. I don't care if the movie sucks. I don't care if the movie's the greatest ever made. I just want to have fun. And that's all we're here at the movies for. Now, just on the off chance I don't enjoy myself in this movie, and just on the off chance I don't like it, I've already watched Deadpool and Wolverine for like the third time. I just came out of it, and now I'm going back in to watch Beetlejuice. So at least I had a good time at the theater, despite everything. So yeah, first review back after traveling abroad, and I'm excited. So let's go in and see what I think about this movie now. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. I'm not gonna say the third name. I mean, if they ever make a third movie, I think it's pretty obvious what they're gonna name that. But having said that, so yeah, I've just watched this movie, and remember I said up top that I am not a Beetlejuice fan. I am not a fan of the first movie. It's a good thing I said that up top. It's a good thing I started with it, because I wanted to make it clear that I am reviewing this movie now as someone who is not a Beetlejuice fan. And as someone who is not a fan of the movie Beetlejuice from the 1980s, I'm here to say it's fine. It's alright. Well, let me put it this way. If you are a fan of the original movie from 1985, you're gonna like this movie. You're gonna enjoy it. You won't be disappointed. It's just, not for me. Because, I did not like the first one. I'm very hit and miss on Tim Burton movies. Well, he's hit or miss for me. I think I said that wrong, but whatever. You get the point. So there's some really interesting concepts in this movie. Some really, really good moments in it, just like the first one. Of course, a lot of those concepts are expanded upon from the first movie. Some new interesting stuff that were introduced in this movie, but for the most part, a lot of the things that I liked about this movie are just extensions of things that already happened in the first movie, which I liked. There's a certain sequence towards the end that very much is trying to emulate one of my favorite parts from the first movie, and it would have succeeded if it wasn't for the fact that I think it just went on for a bit too long for its own good. And another major problem I have with this movie is I think this movie kind of suffers from having a few too many villains in it. Now, the movie is named after Beetlejuice himself, so was the first one, and he was kind of the villain in the first movie, so you could potentially argue that he's still the villain in this one. But then they throw in another villain on top of him, and another villain on top of that one, and someone who could be considered antagonistic at times. So too many villains is not a problem in most movies. It's just you hardly get enough time to connect with either of the villains. There's two main ones that I want to point out, but I'm not going to say anything spoilery just in case you're wondering, but you barely get a chance to see one of the villains. Barely gets any screen time, or you get the motivation pretty quickly, but you barely get to see that villain, and then they drop another one right on top of that. That also, you get the motivation, but I don't know what this is, but just it didn't click for me. The villains, obviously, the main one is that guy. Which, it's great. Michael Keaton has not lost a step since the first one. It's hard to imagine that this guy is also Batman and the Vulture and Birdman somewhere in between. But yeah, this guy is, I think Beetlejuice was the role he was born to play. Many people have played Batman. I suppose eventually someone will replace him as the Vulture, but he is Beetlejuice. That's his character, that's his baby. Him and Tim Burton really crafted this character. And same with Winona Ryder. She's back again. Obviously, she's still great. Like the character, still the same character, just slightly older. Has grown up a bit. Gina Ortega's in this movie, which she may as well have played Wednesday Addams again. Now, not exactly Wednesday Addams. Doesn't carry. She has similar energies to that character that she played on the TV show, but in the opposite direction, right? So I think Wednesday Addams would have been a perfect character in this movie because of the tone, because of the concept, because of what they were going for. So they cast the actual Wednesday Addams and have her play kind of the same character, but for a different direction, the kind that doesn't believe in ghosts and ghouls and whatnot. Sort of like the exact opposite of the Winona Ryder character from the 80s. And it works, but just, kind of feels rehashed, and the casting kind of feels a bit like stunt casting because of the Wednesday Addams thing. Willem Dafoe is in this movie, really great. It feels again, some interesting casting choices in this movie, but Willem Dafoe kind of feels, again, a bit like it's stunt casting, but it's self-aware. Like, they knew what they were going for when they wrote his character. Same as, they knew what they were going for when they cast Jenna Ortega as the girl character in the movie. But other than that, this movie's fine. Again, if you like the first movie, if you're a fan of the franchise, the Beetlejuice franchise, you're gonna love this movie. And I am certainly gonna recommend this movie to a lot of Beetlejuice fans, which I happen to know, but I don't really see myself coming back to see this movie again. Same as I didn't see the first movie again after I watched it the first time. some years ago. It's just, not for me. But hey, I mean, again, if you like the first one, you're gonna love this. And I had fun in this movie. I definitely laughed and chuckled a couple of times, but overall, not a movie I want to see again. And not because it was bad, because it's just not my thing. So that's that. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me. That's it for Beetlejuice, the sequel to the first Beetlejuice movie. And take it for what it's worth, and take it or leave it, I suppose. There's nothing else I can say about it anymore. So thank you for watching if you have, and gotta keep it real. Hi there! Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.